guys? Welcome to the lounge. Bobby D here. Talk about an exciting first week that President Trump is having. Promises made, promises already kept. We're watching some of these ICE raids here, but Trump has already been all over the place. He's done more in just the last 3 days than Joe Biden did in the last 4 years. And yesterday in New Jersey, ICE agents were out there early in the morning getting these criminal gangbangers, rounding them up and getting them the hell out of here. And I'm all for it. Thank God for President Trump. Let's check this out.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats...
Boy, get your ass on a plane before they slap you up on that plane.
Is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
F Trump, Joe Biden forever. Thank Obama for everything he did for me. That tells you everything you need to know when it's the criminal gangbangers that love them. You know exactly how those two administrations were ran. No more, pal. Get your ass on the plane. Shut up.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back.
That was something Tom Homan said a little while back, that wherever these people are hiding at, they're probably hiding with other illegals, and while they're there, they're going to pick them up too. God bless him. Good job.
He has Canadians, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go in his sanctuary.
Isn't it great having a president back who is doing exactly what he said he's going to do? I mean, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Now, it looks like, Tom Homan is going to jump right onto his job. But the ATF, now, they believe that they can just defy the president's executive order. The president ordered all DEI, didn't earn it, offices shuttered, and all the workers placed on paid administrative leave. I don't know why it's paid, but from what I understand, Elon Musk was trying to get everybody that's kicked out of government 2 years of salary, and then turn them over to the free market workplace, which is fine. If that's what it takes to finally get, our top-heavy government under control, then that's fine. But what the ATF is doing, they had their, she is Lisa Boykin, their chief diversity officer was her title. And what the ATF did was they just changed her job title to senior executive. Now, this is going to be really interesting when Kristi Noem gets in there and she takes over DHS. These agencies are not going to be able to play games with President Trump. I can guarantee, it's not going to go the way that they're hoping that it's going to. And I know Trump didn't pick Kristi Noem because she's a slouch. He picked her because, look how she ran South Dakota. She did an awesome job. She's one of the premier governors out there. And speaking of President Trump, the people of North Carolina, they were absolutely ignored. But we've got President Trump and our beautiful First Lady Melania Trump, back on Air Force One, and they're already in North Carolina handling business. And this was what I found really interesting, was because Trump is basically mentioning getting rid of FEMA. I am all for it. FEMA's another top-heavy. There's way too much fat in it. It's just another expensive, bureaucratic organization that obviously figured it could run itself and not even provide services to somebody if they had a Trump flag in their yard. Unbelievable. So yeah, get rid of them.
Get involved. Probably less FEMA, because FEMA just hasn't done the job. And we're looking at the whole concept of FEMA. I like, frankly, the concept when North Carolina gets hit, the governor takes care of it. When Florida gets hit, the governor takes care of it, meaning the state takes care of it. To have a group of people come in from an area that don't even know where they're going in order to solve immediately a problem is something that never worked for me. But this is probably one of the best examples of it not working. And there's been some others, like in Louisiana, etc. So we're going to be doing something on FEMA that I think most people agree. I'd like to see the states take care of disasters. Let the state take care of the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all of the other things that happen. And I think you're going to find it a lot less expensive. You'll do it for less than half, and you're going to get a lot quicker response. So that seems to be the recommendation, but we'll be making that recommendation.
I agree. We can give federal relief money, but the governors in those states, they know what they're looking at. They know what they need. So let them have it. Let them worry about it. My governor knows Arkansas, knows it well. We've got an Arkansas National Guard. We've got Arkansas State Police. Every state, they know what they need. If they need outside resources, they can always ask for that. And usually, being the United States, other states nearby, they always respond. If Mississippi has a bad power outage, well, you get people from Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. That all the surrounding states, they kick in and they help out. That's just been the norm around here. So and that's going to continue. We can provide federal resources if we need to, but I think the states do a much better job. That's for sure. I don't even want anybody else coming in my house screwing with things. They might leave some Cletus funk on something. Anyway, so I've been watching the confirmation hearings, and the Democrats are they're up to their old tricks again, and they were trying to filibuster John Ratcliffe. It's not John Ratcliffe that they were actually trying to filibuster. It's just that they know Pete Hegseth was right after that. And so they thought, well, we'll just sit around here and we'll stall it, so that way we never have to get to Pete Hegseth, even though they know eventually they're going to have to swallow the big red pill, and knowing we can get the votes, and they're going to be confirmed. Especially John Ratcliffe. The guy's got an amazing resume, but so does Pete Hegseth, and but Senator Tom Cotton out of Arkansas, not a huge fan. He's got some pros, he's got some cons. I've met him. He's a nice guy, but he really puts the Democrats on notice in this segment right here to basically, knock your shit off if you plan on having a life, outside of, the halls of Congress. And check this out.
The senator from Arkansas.
I ask consent to end the quorum call.
Is there objection? Without objection.
Mr. President, unfortunately, we were at the point of almost having a consent agreement to have a vote on the confirmation of John Ratcliffe to be the CIA director tomorrow. Not today, not yesterday when it should have happened, but tomorrow. But the senator from Connecticut has decided to object at the last minute. I don't really understand the objection to Mr. Ratcliffe. He was confirmed by the Senate to be the Director of National Intelligence. He was fully vetted through the bipartisan process on the Senate Intelligence Committee. We voted him out yesterday on a 14-3 vote. Senator Schumer stood here yesterday and talked about how we're going to cooperate on highly qualified, capable nominees with integrity, which John Ratcliffe is. Yet the only vote we got yesterday was Senator Rubio. Now we're not going to have a vote today, and apparently we're not going to have a vote tomorrow. Which means I hope nobody's making any plans for the weekend or the evenings, because we're going to get these nominees confirmed, starting with Mr. Ratcliffe, and then moving on to Mr. Hegseth, and moving on to Mr. Noem, the easy way or the hard way. We tried to cooperate with the Democrats. The cooperation has not been forthcoming. So I guess it's going to be the hard way, starting on Thursday.
Like getting little kids to eat their spinach with dealing with Democrats.
So, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that at a time to be determined by the majority leader, in consultation with the Democratic leader on January 22nd, the Senate proceed to executive session to consider Executive Calendar Number 1, John Ratcliffe to be the Director of the CIA. And there be up to 2 hours of debate equally divided between the two leaders of their designees on the nomination, and that following the use or yielding back of that time, the Senate vote on the nomination. That if confirmed, the motion to reconsider be considered and made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate. That no further motions be in order to the nomination, that any related statements be printed in the record, that the President be immediately notified of the Senate's action, and the Senate resume legislative session.
The only thing I can say is I'm so glad that these confirmations are roll call votes, because we get to know exactly who's voting, yay and nay, and anybody who if they're a Republican and they vote nay on these things, against confirming Trump's cabinet picks, well, we've got their names. We will remember them. We'll remember them very well.
Is there objection?
President.
The senator from Connecticut.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reserving the right to object. As the senator knows, there are serious concerns that many of us have about John Ratcliffe's ability to distance himself from the political interests of President Trump in his work as CIA director during his short 8 months as DNI in 2020. He repeatedly politicized intelligence in a way that does raise, for many of us, real questions about whether he's going to spin highly sensitive intelligence his agency will gather for political purposes.
This guy is such an idiot. When John Ratcliffe was nominated to be Director of National Intelligence, he never gathered any intelligence against anybody that on the other side. That he didn't make anything political like the Democrats have done. Ever since Trump's name was brought up regarding running for office. So this is all it's filibuster spin. It's all it is.
I don't think it's too much to ask to make sure that we have a full, real debate that lasts 2 days on the Senate floor, given the serious questions that have arisen about his qualifications to do this job in a political manner. I understand that we have differences about the qualifications of this nominee, but it is important for the American public to hear us have a debate here about the qualifications of folks who are going to be leading the most sensitive national security agencies. If he's got the votes, he can be on the job this weekend. And for that reason, I would object.
Objection is heard. The senator from Arkansas.
It's fine if the Democrats have legitimate concerns with this nominee or any other nominee. We had legitimate concerns with President Biden's nominee. Come down to the floor. Get it off your chest. We talk about a full and real debate for 2 days. I hate to disappoint people watching here. You're probably seeing more debate than we'll have on John Ratcliffe's nomination for the next 48 hours before we confirm him. That's what I predict.
And he was right.
We could have debated this any time today. We debated it for 2 months in the Intelligence Committee. The senator from Virginia, the vice chair of the committee, worked diligently and promptly with me, his team, with my team, to process this nomination so it would be ready for confirmation yesterday on a bipartisan basis, 14-3. Not many other nominees are going to come out of committee with that kind of vote. So I understand that Democrats are opposed to some of President Trump's nominees, and I understand they want to vote no, and I respect that. But should we be denying the country a Senate-confirmed CIA director in such dangerous times for no good reason? Again, maybe Senator Murphy has more to say. I invite him to come down to the floor and speak again if there is a lot more to say. I predict, though, that once again, this will be the longest debate we have about John Ratcliffe's nomination over the next 2 days. What this is really about is trying to drag out all of these nominations to play procedural games, as we're about to with Pete Hegseth's nomination, to try to deny President Trump his cabinet in a prompt and timely fashion, just like the Democrats did in 2017. Yep, it happened in 2021 as well, because around here, the shoe gets on the other foot pretty quickly. But it didn't happen in 2009, it didn't happen in 2001 or before that, and we should get back to that practice. We should especially get back to that practice when it is a highly accomplished, well-qualified nominee of integrity like John Ratcliffe is.
Yep.
So I regret that now we're going to spin our wheels for 2 days, but as I said, don't make plans for the weekend. Don't have any dinner dates scheduled starting on Thursday night, because we're going to get these nominees done the easy, collegial way, or apparently the hard way. I yield the floor.
I thought that was absolutely great. Again, I've got my, I've got my issues with Senator Cotton. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's done good, and he has absolutely done some things I thought he should have never done. But I mean, overall, good senator. I think he's on Team Trump. We're a few hours out. Of course, John Ratcliffe. He has been confirmed, and Senator Cotton was absolutely right. There was no debate. There was nothing they needed to get off their chest. They wanted to filibuster, and they've been holding out. Now, we've got, Pete Hegseth has cleared the first hurdle to, in the Senate, and for a full floor vote, and we've got, looks like 3 holdouts. 2 of them absolutely for sure. Senator Collins and Senator Murkowski. Murkowski, everybody knew she was going to be a holdout. She's going to be a no. Senator Collins, she was almost a given too. Senator McConnell, I don't know why, Cocaine Mitch should, maybe just give him a bump. He'll vote right, but he's not going to get that bump. I think, he's going to be a holdout. If he is a holdout, that's fine, because we've got J.D. Vance. He can step in and he can break the tie. So I look for Pete Hegseth to be confirmed for Secretary of Defense sometime tonight, and it's Friday night. I believe that they're waiting on a full floor vote. It's in an hour or 2. And we'll see. But these are roll call votes. We'll remember who sidestepped out of us and on the Republican side, and those gifts can be returned just as easily come come the midterms, we'll primary their asses right the hell out of there. Another, last story here. You've got Nick Sandman and them, others, that I mean, there's been so many lately that have been defamed by the mainstream media and have lost lawsuits. The J6ers, nobody has been charged with insurrection. So and nobody's been convicted of insurrection, to my knowledge, in history. I don't believe anybody in history has ever been charged, especially convicted of insurrection. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me. But I dug and I couldn't find anything. But I do know none of the J6ers have been charged, with that crime, much less convicted. So to call them something like that, then that's libel. It's slanderous and it's libel. And here we have The View with three circle jerkers that they brought out today, and of course Sunny Hostin, whatever the hell her name is. She's supposed to be their legal expert, although she's constantly having to read legal notes because our legal department made her read them because, they're trying to avoid getting sued because she's such an idiot as it is. Her husband is now, he is a doctor and he is under investigation under the RICO statute for one of the very largest scams in U.S. medical history, I believe to the tune of $450 million. So for a legal expert, she's not that good. Her husband's turning in false claims and racking in millions and stuff like that. And if it's true, then, that just goes to show there's no legal brilliance in her mind. But listen to how she talks about the J6ers and tell me what you think. Oh, there's the three circle jerkers.
Well, Trump has already signed a flurry of executive orders, right, including pardoning the January 6th insurrectionists, even those who harmed law enforcement officers.
Yeah, right there. She just called them the January 6th insurrectionists. That would be the equivalent of calling somebody a rapist or somebody a murderer who has never been tried nor convicted of rape, murder, anything like that. I mean, it's libel. And so I'm hoping that somebody picks up on that and that they get a lawyer and they go after the parent company of The View and go after Sunny Hostin and the other cast members of The View, because every one of them have called them insurrectionists when not one of them has ever been charged with insurrection, much less convicted of insurrection. If you look at the host of charges that they got, none of them were insurrection. So I think some legal scholar out there should pick up on that. I hope that the J6ers do, and I hope that they start lawsuits for slander, because that is libel and it is harmful. It can forever affect the futures of the people that are the accused. So anyway, I hope somebody picks up on that. I hope they sue them. I hope they win, and I hope they take The View off. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me at the lounge. Bobby D here. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you've got any comments, please drop them down below. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Happy Friday.